Have you ever fought with yourself about the way things are in your life? Maybe you've battled with your body in some way to be different, to be better, or not understood why it just wouldn't do what you wanted it to do. Friends, this has been my attitude towards my body for most of my life, to some degree or the other. For years, I struggled, I hated, and I battled with daily my hair. And the reason? I had no idea that I had curly hair. And not just curly hair, thick curly hair that requires a lot of moisture and flexibility and understanding. But I didn't know that. No one had ever told that to me or explained my hair type to me as I was growing up. So I struggled every single day of my adolescent life without any products, just with a hairbrush, brushing my hair, pulling it back. Every time I went to the bathroom, I was wetting it to try and get it to lay flat. I was desperately trying to get my hair to be straight like the other girls at school. And it wasn't until I went to college and a dear, sweet friend said to me, Stephanie, you have curly hair. Why don't you ever wear it curly? And I looked at her. I can remember right now where I was. I was standing in the bathroom, looking in the mirror, fighting with my hair, and she was standing right outside the door when she said this to me. And I turned to her and I told her, I don't know what you mean. And once she started to explain it to me, then I opened up and I said, okay, but I don't know what to do. And I am so grateful that she took time with kindness to explain it to me, to help me to go purchase mousse and hairspray and learn how to do something with my hair that looked cute and worked with the way that I was made rather than against my hair type. And it became so amazing. Seriously, I can remember the relief I felt in discovering my hair type and how I could style it way more naturally. That was so much easier than the way that I was heating it and curling it and doing different things to try and get it to perform. And I also learned that my hair was very dependent on weather conditions and my mood. And so I had to learn to accommodate it and to adjust with it versus fighting it. The lesson here, friends, and the reason I am sharing this with you brings us back to our opening message. You fight with yourself, trying to be something that you're not or you're not ready for. You're trying to get your body to cooperate and perform in a way that you desire when it's really still outside the scope of what you know, what you understand, what you are aware of. Let me explain. You cannot do what you don't know how to do. You cannot do what you don't know how to do because you are unaware. I was completely unaware that I had curly hair. But once you have the awareness, once you realize there's a different way of doing things, there's a new possibility, and you allow it for yourself, then you can start to do things another way. And often looking back, you're going to say something like, oh, if only I had known this sooner. Giving you another example, it's like the first time somebody gave me eyeliner to try out. And I didn't tell them I didn't know anything about eyeliner. I just asked if I could borrow her eyeliner. And I step into the bathroom right there and I start putting the eyeliner and I was like, where, how, what? Like, and I didn't let myself overthink it. So I just started drawing the eyeliner inside the rim of my eye. I just didn't know any better. And friend, once again, this is the lesson. You don't know what you don't know. And it is not always obvious that you don't know. I was clueless. And so you don't seek a solution until maybe somebody calls you out, until you go through an experience. Somebody asks you about it. You come up against a challenge that feels way more painful to continue doing things the way you've been doing it rather than seeking out another option. And I remember that with this eyeliner situation, she had another friend over who was sitting on the couch. And this girl sees what I'm doing and shouts out to the girl who handed me the eyeliner and says, Stephanie just put the eyeliner on the inside of her rim. She just ruined your eyeliner. And friend, this girl was so rude and so disgusted by what I had done that she tattles on me. Here we are, college students, and she's tattling. But she did it in a place to shame me. And in that moment, I did feel that shame. I fully took that on. I was so embarrassed. But at the same time, I was completely clueless as to why this was an issue. And so I did the most natural thing, the childish response, and I retort, No, I didn't, even though looking at me would have proven otherwise. Once again, you don't know what you don't know. So you can get to the point where your body is not working the way that you want. You can be carrying around unwanted weight despite your best efforts. And yet someone can call you out for being overweight or question why you miss things because you're not feeling well. And you will do your best to hide from the accusations, to bury yourself from the shame. And I get it because I've done this myself. And you will beat yourself up mentally. You will feel hatred, anger, frustration, shame, just depression, all these different emotions so negatively for being so stupid or having made the mistake or having let things get to this state. But once again, it comes back to you don't know what you don't know. And I didn't know how to do any better with the eyeliner. I didn't know how to do any better with my hair at those stages of my life until I learned otherwise, until a situation arose that brought me new awareness. So, friend, my message to you today is to acknowledge the good in you, the good in who you have been, how you have taken care of yourself to this point, what has gotten you here, and that you accept what you have had to work with. Sometimes we don't have any more to work with, so we're just doing what we can do with the best that we have. So beating yourself up, shaming yourself for the condition that you find yourself in now is not going to help you make improvements. Can you accept that for yourself? And will you then grant yourself some grace for all you have been through and allow yourself, when you're ready, to cheer yourself on for seeking more, seeking better, seeking to persist to find a solution for improvement, to become who you want to be from here on out? This is the first step towards any progress. Becoming aware of what you were previously unaware of, what you were clueless to. Becoming aware of where the struggle is, what doesn't feel right, what is challenging you, and get to the root of it. For me, with my hair, I was frustrated. I was angry with who I was. With my hair, and I hated my hair. And I wanted to be invisible, to go unnoticed most of the time walking the hallways to school because I felt like I looked so stupid. I shamed myself a lot and I wasn't comfortable being visible and putting myself out there. And this was at the root of who I was. So becoming aware that I had curly hair, being able to do things differently wasn't available to me just yet in my life because I had to first learn how to accept myself for who I was, to learn how to love myself and allow myself something more. This for me didn't happen until I went away to college. I had packed up and moved 8 hours away from anyone and anything I knew. I put myself in a whole new space, a whole new culture, really, because I was evolving and I was ready to evolve into my next version. Didn't know fully what that meant. I didn't know fully what I was going to become, but I was finally becoming ready to be seen, to achieve more, to realize my potential. So when I finally got to this stage of acceptance for myself and a desire for myself to feel safe and introduce new things into my life, as I started to do that in college, and that is when God brought me this amazing, kind friend who taught me about my curly hair. And not only that, but she helped me size down my oversized clothing I kept wearing to show me that I actually looked better, not worse, when I wore clothes that fit my body. And she taught me so many other things about myself that helped me develop greater confidence and strength in living my best life and becoming more visible. Who I graduated as is so different than the girl who entered college. This is because we don't know what we don't know, and we're not ready to accept in something else until we give ourselves that permission. Because you are hardwired, friend. Your whole body is programmed to protect you and keep you alive. And that is why, amongst all the things happening in life, all around you, there are things that your body and your mind and everything is just going to shield you from. It's going to keep it out. It's going to protect you from things that you are not ready for. Allowing yourself to be open to the change, accepting where you have been, and becoming aware are the first stages towards the growth and improvement you seek. We're going to talk about this more in tomorrow's conversation. But for now, if you're resonating with this message, I encourage you to drop into the comments that you are ready for a change. You don't have to tell us what it is. You don't have to go right there, right now, if it feels too vulnerable. That's okay. But just let us, me and the others in the community, support you in your desire to create a change in your life, to start shifting into the unknown and become the best version of yourself that you can be. Friend, this is the first time I've done a 10-minute workout. Thank you for going on the journey with me. Kudos to you.